Pradeep, welcome.
Thank you, Ivan. Very
All
nice to
right.
be here.
Yep. So excited to learn more about your project. You have 10 minutes. I'll give you a warning at the 1 minute mark, but take it away.
Sure. Great. So I think we're going to talk a little bit about one of the more complex industries that is trying to implement blockchain and represents a huge opportunity, a real use case for blockchain, and that's what Solve.Care is doing. So I'll give you a bit of an introduction to what we are doing and invite the community to take up the opportunity. Very quick summary for those of you who are not familiar with healthcare. Healthcare is about a $9 trillion a year problem in terms of a global spend, about 4 trillion in the US, the rest worldwide. And if you look at the math, of course, we spend a big chunk on hospitals and pharmacy, 1,100 billion on hospitals in the US each year, 380 billion on prescription drugs. But what's really interesting is that there's another 1,300 billion a year we spend, which is the largest single category, not on healthcare, but on administration of healthcare, primarily healthcare payments. And that's where a blockchain use case really lies. And there is an enormous opportunity that I want to bring to everyone's attention. And that includes healthcare financing and potential opportunities for DeFi as well. So healthcare is complex. It is a multi-party sport. Healthcare is never a vendor's, consumer relationship. It's a multi-party function. And there is a real lack of trust between parties, insurer, doctor, patient, family members, specialist. We want to trust our doctor, but the healthcare system is adversarial. And given the regulations that exist in each country around data sharing and the local laws, it becomes incredibly difficult. In healthcare, payments tend to be multi-party payments too, patient to doctor payment, patient to specialist payment, payer to doctor, meaning insurance company, of government to doctor, payer to patient, employer to payer. Lots of parties pay each other, and they all use their own standalone systems, which makes it very hard to collaborate and coordinate. So it's ripe for decentralization and tokenization. I have spent my whole career in healthcare, so I know this inside and out. So what we did at Solve.Care is to build a full stack healthcare platform that uses blockchain as a coordination fabric that allows different roles to interact with each other without revealing their identity or giving up control of their data. So everyone essentially can play a sovereign role, but still have the meaningful interaction in a coordinated fashion with each other. So that's how we use blockchain in our platform. And the objective is to tokenize identity, consents, transaction payments, and data ownership. If you do one or two of the five, you're not going to get healthcare adoption. So we decided to tackle the big problem of doing all five: identity tokenization, consent tokenization, healthcare transaction tokenization, obviously payments, and data ownership and data interoperability. And the way we do that is we use a event ledger, which allows the events to be exchanged without exchanging the identity. Identity is locked in the wallet, but the events are shareable on the care event ledger, which then allows different role nodes to act upon those events differently. So a doctor role node and a patient role node can read the same event ledger and do very different things with it. And that allows enormous configurability without having to sacrifice data ownership and sovereignty. At a more micro level, for example, if a patient is trying to make an appointment on our blockchain ledger, they'll put out a request, an event request on the ledger, which every doctor node can pick up, and those who qualify or are available can respond to. And that event can then be picked up at the same time by the insurance company, which can authorize payment by issuing a digital token to the patient's wallet. So this allows for a significant streamlining of healthcare events. And this is not theoretical. We have implemented some very compelling digital health networks already on the platform. The other element that we feel is very important is that you got to make blockchain visual. Human beings cannot interact with technology unless they have a visual interface to that technology. So in the case of healthcare, that's really important. So we implemented a standardized application called Care Wallet, which interacts with the event ledger and shows the events with human understandable care cards, which allows you to essentially work with any event, but humanize and make it actionable and transforms it into something that you can use in real life. The target audience is my mother or my daughter. if they can interact with the blockchain properly, they're not going to use it, and they're not going to become blockchain experts either. So in all of this, what we are really able to do is to address some really complex problems, like coordinating diabetes care, or dealing with mental health and suicide prevention, or facilitating payments between doctors and patients, or allowing insurance companies to issue proper benefits to their members without becoming the police cop between them and the doctor. Hundreds of use cases practically, many of them we have implemented, but the real idea is to empower the community and developers worldwide start implementing their own digital health networks in their community or in their country. So our vision is that in healthcare, 1.3 trillion is wasted each year just in the US alone. If you exclude all the payments from doctors and hospitals and pharmacies, we spend $1.3 trillion not delivering healthcare, but administering it. And that's absurd. The similar amount of money is being wasted around the world. So even if we simply stripped out that cost by allowing people to maintain their identity and sovereignty and publishing their events in a de-identifiable manner that allows proper care coordination, proper benefit and payment coordination, we could take a lot of that cash and redeploy it to actually making healthcare work better. So with that said, we have built a platform around our Solve token, which serves 5 different purposes. It works as the gas token for each event. You can put a price on each care event. There is an interoperability token function where it allows data exchange. It's an earnings token for those who publish their services on the care marketplace. It's a payment token for doctor-patient payments. And it's a staking token for the upcoming DeFi solution that we are connecting to the Solve platform. And what we are working with today is a variety of large clients and partners. But what we really focus on now is to make the platform available to those people who want to transform healthcare, those who have a stake in the healthcare delivery, be it the device manufacturers or consulting firms or physicians and pharmacists who want to run their own care networks, insurance companies that want to launch benefit networks, government agencies that want to launch population health networks, DeFi developers that want to maybe do healthcare financing for devices and so on.
We're in our final 1 minute.
All right, so I'm actually going to stop and see if there are any questions. But I'm going to end by saying that to the development community and to the crypto community, healthcare is a challenging field, but we have done a lot to make it accessible to a tech innovator, to a DeFi or a blockchain developer to actually use our platform to build very compelling, usable, real-world solutions. And we welcome your questions and comments.
Thank you, Pradeep. You're already getting some questions in the Zoom chat from Christian came here. Something about personal identifiable data. So make sure to answer them in the Zoom chat.
Sure.
We're going to move on to our next item on the agenda. So thank you, Pradeep. Thank you for presenting.
Thanks, Pradeep.